Very good afternoon, folks. So this is unscripted. I'm just going to hopefully get all the information out. So I have an X account as well, a bird watching one, as well as my taxi one. And recently I tried going monetized to earn some money off of X. I didn't know how much you could earn, but I wanted to find out. So first of all, I needed 500 premium subscribers, which luckily I'd gotten organically over the last 4 years of being on Twitter, X, now X. So I'd got my 500. The next up, I needed to go premium, which was £9.60 a month for the blue tick. And thirdly, I needed 5 million impressions over 3 months. Basically, the 5 million impressions in 3 months is like a bare minimum. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be worth you doing it. So the impressions are people seeing your tweets or your posts with X. So I thought, I've got to get that number in 3 months. That's going to be hard because my bird posts were maybe getting 1,000 to 2,000 impressions per post. So I thought, I worked it out. I'm going to need roughly 55,000 impressions a day to get to 5 million in 3 months. But because I've been on X for quite a long time before, and as well when it was Twitter, I kind of know how things work. I saw that you could build impressions by replying to bigger accounts. More people would see your reply. And if you're already verified, you pay the £9.60, you get put higher up in the rankings, you get to be seen. If you're not verified, nobody's going to see your tweet. So I was already there with my 500 subscribers in my paid account. I just needed these impressions. So I played around and responded to some big accounts. And I found that the film accounts seem to get the best response in terms of numbers. Everybody loves films, and they would talk about games and comic books and things like that. And people on social media are big into that. And yeah, if you cross them as well, that's what I found out. If you say the wrong thing, you know, it's like fight. So it gets really aggressive. So you learn how to tone down your replies, not to make them too, what we call in the industry, rage bait. And people will say, this is such rage bait. And I had to say, well, it is kind of rage baity, but it is the truth. You know, there are a lot of people on there that are really setting out to bait people, get angry replies. And I hate that personally. So what I did say was the truth. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan. And if I didn't like one of the Star Wars movies, I said, yeah, I didn't particularly like that one. How can you not like that one? And I'm like, that's just rage bait. And I said, it's not. I genuinely didn't like it. So I was true to my word, and I didn't pure rage bait. So I got to my 5 million impressions in 2 weeks. I gamed the system. So now it was down to how much do I earn? Now I'd done a lot of Googling and using the AI, the Grok and the Gemini AI from Google and from X. How much do you earn per impression? And it was telling me like 0.000025 cents. But obviously if you get millions, that adds up. So I couldn't quite, and it also said it depends on this, depends on that, depends how big you are, etc., how many people, whatever. But it wasn't very clear. So I thought the best thing I can do is just get my first paycheck and go from there. So I got paid last night after two weeks. I got to, I think, 8 million impressions in the last 2 weeks. But it actually paid me all the way back to the beginning of February. So it came in just after midnight, and I was wondering, is it going to be $50? I was expecting it to be about $50 because when I did research, they said that it's about $45 to $50 per 5 million impressions. So I thought, okay, $50. If it's $50, I probably might not carry on with it. I got paid, and it was $11, I think 24. $11.24 for 8 million impressions. I was gutted. Problem was, I had spent a lot of time. I put my phone on a tripod and I was cooking with my phone out. I was replying to things. I'd set up alerts. So when these big Twitter accounts posted, I could be in there quickly. So my tweets were seen. That was one of my secrets. And I learned what to ask and what to say, not to be too rage baity, but to sort of get people's attention. And what I did was a lot of GIFs, the GIFs, the sort of little moving photographs or funny photographs to make people laugh and like and stuff like that. I know how to play it because I've been on since I think 2009, and I'd already been doing it on my cab account with cabbies. So I had this sort of sense of humor thing dialed in with online accounts. I knew how to sort of make people laugh using all the different GIFs from movies and music videos and all that. So that's how I got it going, just having years of experience. Who knew that mucking around on X for 15 years, 20 years would sort of pay off, which it didn't pay off, but it sort of paid off, which is what I'm getting to. So 1124 for all that. And I'm glad now because it means I don't have to be glued to my phone. But what I found out, I typed in a few more different questions trying to get the answer of how I get paid on X. And it actually says you only earn money from conversing with other premium accounts. What they want you to do basically is argue with people. It actually says on there, healthy debate. But that's not, nobody goes on there for healthy debate. Everyone goes on there to fight. And the best way to do that, like I said before, is the rage bait thing. You need to go on there and like say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You got this wrong. And you don't want people without premium accounts replying. You need the premium accounts. And you need to then you'd need to spend all day on there arguing with them or talking to them or like doing the really boring route of saying, oh, nice photo. And them saying, oh, you're welcome. And then you could go on and say, so where did you get this? And just have a conversation like, I'd rather be doing other things. I mean, I saw a lot of people talking to accounts, premium accounts, and they said, have you been paid? I've been paid, yeah. And they were all coming from Asia. Now, the thing is, in Asia, the earnings are lower. So it makes sense if you're spending 6 to 8 hours a day on X talking to people, just saying, good morning, how are you? I'm fine. You can game the system. And what you could earn from X, if it's like $20 a day, that can actually go quite a long way in Asia. But in Europe, there's just no point. You'd have to spend 12 hours a day there, rage baiting everybody. And I think one day I did wake up and my account was gone. And I think what happened was I probably raged a couple of people, or I'd followed a lot of accounts too quickly, unfollowed people that were talking nonsense. And I don't know if X flagged that as suspicious behavior, or I got a lot of people who I'd been talking to angry and they'd all gone in and reported me as some fake account, and I had to sort of prove my identity, do a face scan and all that, input a code, and I got my account back, but I'd lost all that night's possible impressions. I think it could have been like 200,000. And I thought, if that happens regularly, with all the rage bait stuff, I just thought, forget it. Anyway, the whole point of this video is to inform you, if you're thinking of going on to X to get monetized and you're going to earn from it, it's not worth it, especially if you're in the West. It is not worth it. If you're happy being glued to your phone for 12 to 14 hours a day, then fair enough. You might earn a little bit of money. You might know the right thing to say to cause maximum rage bait. So, but you're going to need, I'd say you might need in the region of 50 to 100,000 followers, and also being able to post stuff that goes viral on its own, which is very, very unlikely, because I've seen people with very small accounts get something go viral. There is no rhyme nor reason to it. Nobody's figured out the viral thing, why certain things take off and some don't. So this is just a little bit of, I've done the work, I've paid the money for a couple of months of the premium account. I've gone through the sequence, and I was gutted to find out that millions and millions of impressions only earns you $11. So that's it. I've done it. I've tried it. You can look online all you want, and you can't get a straight answer for certain things. I did that with my YouTube channel. How much do you earn on YouTube? There was no specifics to what gets you this amount of money per 1,000 views or that amount of money per 1,000 views. I just had to go in there and find out for myself. For instance, good vlogs with good owls and good raptors get me $7 to $7.50 per 1,000 views. But if you just put up pure bird footage, which I found, like I put up bird footage of a hoopoe, 20 minutes worth of hoopoe, and I was only getting like $1.15 per 1,000 views. And I think it just comes down to, they want people in the vlogs, they want people talking about things that maybe they can put adverts over the top of, which they can't really do with birds, just pure birds. They need some sort of human interaction. And it's just a learning game, all this online stuff. I haven't figured out anything to do with viral. It's all a mystery. But anyway, I hope you got something out of this. And if you're thinking of paying the premium to go onto Twitter, it's literally only for arguing with people. That when you argue with an account, you say something and you want the person's account to see it, or other people looking at that reply, seeing it, you've got to pay the premium to put higher up in the rankings. And if it's a really big account, like some sort of influencer or that, they won't even see you. Because what I found was, even though you go up the rankings, if people with huge accounts are replying to them, only they will be seen first, because you only scroll down so far. And if a few accounts, like 20 accounts, have got like 50, 100, 200,000 subscribers or followers, they're going to be seen first and you're not going to get a look in. So I would say, if you're small, don't think about earning on X. Give it a try by all means. You might have the secret sauce that I didn't have. Okay, so any questions, let me know in the comments. Anything I missed out.